Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jamral and I make YouTube videos to store memories and bring value to people worldwide. Enjoy! Today, I'm very happy to tell all of you that the requirements going to Thailand from the Philippines is less strict now, meaning you will only need to do or comply with a couple of things to get into the country. For this video, I will be giving you the step-by-step process and the documents that you will need to be able to enter Thailand. And also to make things easier for you guys, I will be putting a timestamps in this video to make it easier for you so you can just scrub through it or go to the sections that you need help or you need clarification with. So without further ado, let's go to our 5 requirements that you need to be able to enter Thailand. The new requirements. Let's go! For the first requirement, you will need a flight ticket to and from Thailand. Okay, so of course, if you're gonna be going to another country, you're gonna need a flight ticket. So for me, I personally chose Cebu Pacific just because they're cheaper. But if you want a more convenient flight, there's Philippine Airlines, Thai Airways, or if you're looking for cheaper ones, I think AirAsia or Thai Vietjet, I'm not sure, but you can look for more flights at flightscanner.com. So it's entirely up to you. I'm sure with a quick Google search, you'll be able to find tons and tons of flights from the Philippines to Bangkok. And also, you will need a ticket, a return ticket to Thailand if you're not going to be staying here for long or you don't, plan to get work here. However, if you do plan to get work, and you still don't have that work permit, I still recommend that you get that flight ticket back, which I will tell you why later in the tips and the FAQ section of this video. Okay, number 2, our second requirement is a vaccine certificate. So of course, like in our previous video talking about the requirements, a vaccine certificate is still needed today where there's still COVID, although it's not as bad as before. You still need a vaccine certificate. Now, this vaccine certificate can vary from country to country, but if you are vaccinated in the Philippines, then you can get your vaccine certificate online for free at vaccert.doh.gov.ph. So I'll be putting the link in the description box below. So the third requirement that you will need is still an insurance. So sadly, if you're coming to Thailand, you still need that insurance. However, good news for all of you, that only has to be a minimum of $10,000 now. So don't worry, you don't need $10,000. You can buy an insurance for much cheaper now. So before, in my previous video, I got my insurance from AXA Thailand, and now I got mine from FWD, which costs only 650 baht for 30 days. So this one I will be putting the link in the description box as well. So for those of you who are looking for options for insurances, it's all down there. Just click the link and just go through it. Once you've applied and once you've paid for the insurance, then just wait for a few minutes, I guess, for it to be sent to your email. So once you've applied, the insurance company will send you a copy of your insurance in your email. So make sure that the email that you put in the registration for that insurance is the email that you will be using, or that it is an active email. For the fourth requirement, you will need a hotel booking or an address for where you're going to be staying in Thailand. So this, just to clarify, this is not a quarantine hotel. So this is the hotel that you will be staying in, or if it's the house of a friend or a relatives, then that address you need to have, you can put that in the next requirement, which is the Thai pass, but yeah, we'll get to that in the 5th requirement. Thankfully, everything now is less strict, so you don't need to be quarantined or you don't need to get an RT-PCR test if you are fully vaccinated. So that is very good, I think, because I really don't like RT-PCR tests or Rapid Antigen Tests that, those stuff where they just put it in your nose. It's very annoying. So I'm really glad that's not important, or that's not needed anymore. However, if you're not yet fully vaccinated, you have 2 options. So the first option is to get tested using RT-PCR or Rapid Antigen Test. These tests have to be taken 72 hours before your date of departure. The result has to be negative, okay? So a negative RT-PCR and Rapid Antigen Test. And the second requirement, if you do not want to get an RT-PCR test, or you just don't like having those things in your nose, you can take the second option, which is to be quarantined in Thailand. So you'll have to book a quarantine hotel. Well, this is going to take some time. So like me before, I was quarantined for a day, and honestly, just for me, it feels like it's a waste of a day where I could be going around and exploring Thailand. Plus, you're also going to have to pay for that quarantine hotel. So that money that you use for the quarantine hotel could be used somewhere else too. So if I were you, I highly suggest that you get fully vaccinated, or you go for the RT-PCR or Rapid Antigen Test. Okay, the fifth requirement is the Thai pass. So it's the same Thai pass with, I guess, updates right now. So you can still get your Thai pass at tp.consular.go.th. So when you go to the Thai pass website, there will be two options there. There will be the quarantine and not quarantine, or no quarantine and the quarantine. So if you're going for the no quarantine, just scroll down, click the select no quarantine button, then scroll down again and check the box certifying that you understand the requirements, and then click confirm. So from then on, I guess you'll just have to answer all the questions there. They'll ask for flight details, your vaccine certificate, personal information, passport, and for these they will need pictures as well. So you're gonna have to take screenshots of these and then upload it into the Thai Pass website. So this is gonna take like a few minutes of your time, but rest assured there's no time limit. Take as much time as you need to fill in this information, and I highly suggest that you take your time and just double check everything so there's nothing wrong. Once you have your Thai pass and you go to the airport, everything is clear, and then there will be no problems on your end, especially at immigration. So once you're done registering, you've confirmed it, everything looks good, just wait for the Thai pass QR code for at least an hour or two, because before, when I went to Thailand last December and January, the Thai pass took about 7 days. So right now everything is more instant, it's faster. It only took me 1 to 2 hours to get my Thai pass, and yeah, from then on it was smooth sailing. And of course, I will be putting the link to the Thai pass website in the description box too. So if you have any trouble finding these links, just look at the description box, and I highly suggest that you click the links in the description box to avoid scams and these other fake websites out there. Okay, and there we have it. Those are the 5 requirements, or at least the main requirements that you will need to go to Thailand. Okay, so now that we're done with the requirements, let's go straight into the frequently asked questions. First question, do I need to apply for a visa going to Thailand from the Philippines? Okay, so just so you all know, Philippines is included in Thailand's visa exemption scheme, where they allow tourists to enter the country visa-free for 30 days. So if you're going to Thailand for 30 days, you do not need to apply for a visa. However, if you're planning to stay there longer, you will need to apply for one. So here I will be including a list here in this section of the video, a list of the countries that people from those countries that can enter Thailand without a visa for 30 days. So I'm not sure if this space can accommodate all of the names of the countries, but if not, then I will include a link in the description box as well. Okay, so question number 2, what will immigration ask me? Okay, so immigration's questions vary from person to person, but for me, I guess there's a few questions that they asked again and again. So first one is, where am I staying in Thailand? So I think this is also one of the requirements that I included in the first part of the video, the address. So if you're gonna be living or staying in a hotel, then you're gonna have to tell them the name of the hotel and the address of the hotel. And if it's a friend's place, then the friend's or relative's place. Okay, another question that they will be asking you is, what is your current job? So for me, I just was honest and I told them that I am a freelance writer. And for you, if you're a student, tell them you're a student. If you're a teacher, tell them you're a teacher. Okay, so another one is how long you'll be staying in Thailand. For this, I guess just tell them how long you'll be staying. 30 days, 60 days, depends on your flight. And I guess one thing that immigration is trying to avoid are these people we call TNTs or tago ng tago. So these are people who go to enter Thailand as tourists and then look for jobs and then are not able to extend their visa and are just acquiring or getting so many penalties and just not following the rules in Thailand. So I think it's it kind of also just destroys the reputation of the Philippines. If you're a tourist, you're coming to another country, if you're going to another country, please be responsible because madamay ming tanan. Madadamay po tayong lahat. So yes, please you be bringing your country's name. Just be careful and please be respectful and be responsible. Okay, so the third question that I get asked is booster shot required going to Thailand? Okay, as of June 1, booster shot is not required. So I don't know, in the future maybe, but for now it's not yet required. So I guess but you need to be fully vaccinated though. If not, then you'll have to go through the other requirements like getting a negative RT-PCR or a Rapid Antigen Test or quarantine. So fully vaccinated, meaning 2 doses of the regular vaccines like Moderna, Pfizer, Sinovac, Sinopharm, Covilo, AstraZeneca, and 1 dose of Johnson & Johnson. Okay, so now we're done with the frequently asked questions. Let's go straight to the tips. Okay, for you guys, one tip is to print physical copies of the documents that I included in the first part. So personally for me, I printed all of those. So I have my insurance, copies of my insurance, I have my vaccine certificate here. I also have a copy of my Thai pass. So I didn't print my itinerary anymore, my flight ticket, because I didn't have paper. Printing in the Philippines is expensive. Maybe it was just the place where I printed. But yeah, I printed those just in case my phone dies, I don't have a copy. I do not want to be stuck in the airport and miss my flight. So there you go. I have all the requirements. I printed them too, just in case. It's not necessary to print them, but it will be really helpful. And for me, I get really anxious. So to help ease the anxiety, I know that I have backup. So psychologically, I can just relax and sleep on the plane without worries. Okay. Another one is, basic airport tip is to be there at the airport 3 to 4 hours before your flight, especially if it's an international flight. So Manila to Bangkok is an international flight. You have to be at the airport at least 3 hours before so that you will be able to check in early, because some of the lines, international lines, can get really long, and then you'll have to go through immigration and all these things, documentation. So at least if something goes wrong, especially in immigration, if they, hopefully, knock on wood, katok sa kahoy, they don't hold you, at least, or if they do, you at least have time to sort things out and you will not be delayed for your flight. Okay, so another reason why I asked you guys, or I'm advising you guys to go to the airport early, is because you will have to pay for travel tax. It depends, I think, on the airlines. Some airlines include the travel tax and when you buy their flight ticket. But for me, since I chose Cebu Pacific, I had to go to the travel tax area at NAIA and then pay the travel tax. So I think it was 1,650 pesos. Correct me if I'm wrong. So always just have extra cash on you. Not just for the travel tax. For example, if you get hungry, you can buy food at the airport, or your bag is overweight, you just need that 1 kilo, so at least you'll have extra money. So travel tax, if you get lost and you don't know where it is, because personally for me, I got lost too, I just asked Kuya Guard, the guard there, and he'll point you in the right direction. And from then on, I guess it's just common sense and just, following the signs, looking for the signs, and being aware of where the travel tax area is. Okay, so the next tip that I have is to bring a pen, a trusty pen. A pen that you can trust will work, because when you go to the airport, there will be departure and arrival cards that you will be filling up. Okay, so this is also another reason why you need to be early, because you will, aside from paying travel taxes, checking in, and going through immigration, before you go through immigration, you'll have to go to this area with tables where they have departure cards. You have to get a departure card and you need to fill it out. Okay, in some places they have pens, but sometimes when the place is full of people, chances are you're not going to be able to use the pens. And there was one time for me as well where I couldn't get a pen, so I had to borrow from someone. And for me, I guess I learned from that lesson, because it really took a lot of my time just waiting for someone and, taking the courage to ask someone to lend me their pen, because personally, I don't like talking to strangers. So have a pen, wherever you go. This is basic travel tip as well. Bring a ball pen. It doesn't have to be, expensive. A 10 peso pen will do. A black or blue pen will do, as long as you know that it will write properly. Because departure cards, and once you arrive in Thailand, you will also be given an arrival card that you need to fill up. And personally for me, I filled up the paper in the airplane, so it's a good thing that I have my own pen. The last tip that I have is to familiarize where you will be staying and the date of your departure and arrival, because these are questions that immigration will be asking you too. So if you are able to answer these questions confidently, then no problem at all. It'll be easy, smooth sailing for you guys. So yeah, just at least familiarize some of the some of the information that you have in your documents, like when is your flight, when are you going back to the Philippines. You don't have to memorize these, but at least know some of this information. So I guess for those who are worried, I get a lot of questions, even DMs on Instagram. People are asking me about, oh my god, I'm worried about immigration and all of that. What do I do? I just tell them, relax, breathe, because you are not a criminal. Or are you? You are not a criminal if you if you complied with all the documents, you did nothing wrong, deep down that, you did not commit a crime or anything at the airport. You did not bring a bomb. God forbid you did not bring a bomb to the airport. If you have all these things, if you have all of these requirements, then you're pretty much good to go. You just answer immigration's questions honestly, politely, and you show them that you have everything that they need and you have no ill intentions in Thailand, then you're good. Voila. So I guess that's it for my video right now. I hope you guys found great value in this. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment them down below. Comment them in the comment section so that I can read them and I will be able to answer them. I'll try my best to answer all of your questions. If it's difficult to, if for some reason I'm not able to answer, feel free to, go to my Instagram and DM me there, follow me, and let's be friends. Okay, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I have a list here. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. And if you found great value in this video, I hope that, at least take the time to just tap that like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like these, tips and tricks of going to Thailand, just traveling, being an independent Filipino. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!